Election officials get grilled with questions about problems during the state's June 2nd primary. Today, the Maryland State Board of Elections addressed shortcomings before state lawmakers. WJZ is live tonight. Rachel Menentoff explains what they say went wrong here. Rachel.
Rick, multiple state leaders, including the lieutenant governor and the comptroller, have called on the Maryland elections chief to resign because of all of the problems with the primary election, which ultimately led to major delays in results. Some voters waited an hour or more to cast an in-person ballot during Maryland's first ever mostly mail-in election on June 2nd due to the coronavirus.
We all did not get our ballots in the mail.
Many people told WJZ they had no choice but to vote in person at one of only 6 polling locations in Baltimore City. That's because they never received their ballot or their ballot had mistakes.
How are we holding these vendors accountable?
State Elections Administrator Linda Lamone put much of the blame on the ballot printer, saying the vendor told them ballots were sent to Baltimore, but only less than a third had been mailed out.
If we had known sooner, we would have done something sooner, but when we found out about it, we acted on it, we got the problem solved as best we could.
Elections officials are now working on more accountability for vendors. In the short term, the state says 6 vendors are submitting test ballots in the next few weeks. Senator Arthur Ellis of Charles County pointed out that many long lines and misplaced ballots popped up in majority African-American areas.
And there's a perception in my county, in Maryland, and throughout the nation that these problems just seem so unsurmountable in the majority minority areas, especially in black areas.
Chairman Michael Kogan agreed the board needs to look into these issues.
We take seriously any deficiencies in the voting system.
Delegate Nick Mosby was critical of how election night results were pulled from the website without explanation. Lamone says they wanted to make sure the information was correct.
But you're right, it needed to be more transparent.
And if the general election in November is primarily vote by mail, the State Board of Elections says it recognizes the need for more locations for voters to participate. We're live in Baltimore tonight. I'm Rachel Menentoff for WJZ.